There you go. Nope. No, there we go. I can't prove my point anymore. Technology is evil, so says Greenville University. Now, in fairness, they say technology itself may not be evil, it's how it's being used. Now, we're in a place right now, we're really heading towards a place where reality is people depend more on technology than they do God. And this is not new. This is a common pattern in Scripture. People are worshiping God, and then they find something else. They get distracted, and they begin to focus on that. And they justify that by saying, well, this new thing is a blessing from God. And then before long, they're no longer worshiping God. They're worshiping whatever it is. And in our day, it's technology. Now, technology does have some good appeals to it. When you look at technology, where would modern medicine be without technology? The gospel has benefited from technology. But technology is always changing. When you understand the place where it's come from and how quickly it's changing. How many people remember when a computer was something in a science fiction movie? How many people remember when memory was something you lost with old age? A CD was a bank account. A cursor was a bad word. A keyboard was a musical instrument. An application was for a job. A program was on TV. To log on meant you put more wood on the fire. A hard drive was something you did on Sunday afternoon. You would cut with a knife and paste with glue. A web was from a spider, and a virus was the flu. But things have changed. This next clip goes back to November 1995, just 1995.
But you know, I think about this, and what about this internet thing? You know anything about that?
Sure.
What the hell is that exactly?
Well, it's become a place where people are publishing information.
Right.
So everybody can have their own homepage. Companies are there, the latest information. It's wild what's going on. You can send electronic mail to people. It is the big new thing.
Yeah, but you know, it's easy to criticize something you don't fully understand, which is my position here.
Go ahead.
But I can remember a couple of months ago, there was like a big breakthrough announcement that on the internet or on some computer deal, they were going to broadcast a baseball game. You could listen to a baseball game on your computer. And I just thought to myself, does radio ring a bell? You know what I mean?
There's a difference.
There is a difference.
It's not a huge difference.
What is the difference?
But you can listen to the baseball game whenever you want.
All right.
Too.
Oh, I see. So it's stored in one of your memory deals,
Exactly.
and then you can come
That's
back
the
a
RAM
year
thing
later.
you talked about earlier.
Yeah. Do tape recorders ring a bell?
That's November 1995. People didn't know what the internet was. So we know where technology has been, but where is it going? Daniel chapter 12 and verse 4, God tells Daniel he's talking about end times. He says, take this and seal these words up until the end. Put this away until the end when a time comes when knowledge will increase. Well, people will be a critic of this. Those who are critical of the Bible will say, well, Daniel chapter 12 says knowledge will increase. Doesn't say anything about technology. Okay, well, Philly, can you really have technology if knowledge is not increasing? But to save the critics and to save debating the critics, there are plenty of places in Scripture where technology plays a role in the end times. Places such as the Antichrist system. The Antichrist system has to be in place when he comes in. When he comes onto the world stage, he will not set up his system. It will already be set up. His system being in place is a sign that the rapture is coming. The Antichrist system being set up, the Antichrist system cannot exist without technology. It cannot exist without technology. When you look at the Antichrist system, it is a system that is multifaceted. It will control people. It will have oversight. It will track people's movements. It will take away freedom and control. It will control your finances. It will take away the worship of God. That's what the Antichrist system is designed to do. Technology has to be in place for that to happen. the mark of the beast. In order for that to happen, technology has to be in place to be implemented. There has to be a moment where everybody in the world can watch an act take place live at the same time. We have that technology now. In the book of Revelation, that would be the killing of the two witnesses. And most importantly about technology, what has to be towards the end times is the acceptance of technology. People, the common people, everyday people, have to be willing to accept, to embrace, and to yield to technology. Are we living in that day? Yes. How close are we to that? Well, let me take you back to Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. December 17th, 1903. Many people know this. This is the Wright brothers. They're able to fly 120 feet for 12 seconds. They were able to take this gas-powered biplane and fly for 12 seconds. Men became a bird. We finally were able to fly 120 feet. Now, folks, keep in mind, from the time of creation to Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, that took 5,900 years. From creation to man being able to fly is 5,900 years. What happened since Kitty Hawk? Well, in less than 120 years, we went from flying 120 feet for 12 seconds to this. This is SpaceX Starship. It's still a prototype, but it's designed to take average citizens into space. They want to take you to the moon and even to Mars. Don't know if they do that, but this is less than 120 years from Kitty Hawk. 5,900 years just to fly for 12 seconds. Now they're talking about taking us to the moon. In December, just this past December, they actually did launch people into space for a few moments. They went up and they came back down the same day, but they got the average citizen into space. That's technology. This next one is incredible. This is a nuclear-powered sky hotel. This will hold 5,000 people. It has 20 nuclear-powered engines, so it doesn't use energy. It never needs to land. There is a 4-minute video on this on YouTube, which I wish I had time to show you, but I don't. You know, when you look at this and what this has, this is a luxury hotel as a plane in the air. You actually get on it and get off it by other planes landing on top. And then you elevate it down or you elevate it out with this hotel. 5,900 years, 120 feet for 12 seconds to this. This is where technology is going. You know, back in Daniel chapter 3, Nebuchadnezzar ruled the world. What he did, he created a statue, and he had everybody bow down to it. You had to worship the statue. If you didn't worship, when you heard the music play, if you didn't worship, what happened to you? You were thrown into the fiery furnace. Well, that's Daniel chapter 3. Nebuchadnezzar ruled the world by using fear. When the Antichrist comes, he's going to use technology. He's going to use charisma. He's going to use deception. Daniel chapter 8 says that when the Antichrist comes in the end time, he will come in with peace. The world will be in chaos, and he will come in a platform in peace, and people will embrace him. He will speak words that will mesmerize people, but he's going to enslave people. And his system is designed to put people to death. That's what's coming. The Antichrist system needs technology. The Jerusalem Post just put this headline out. This was done in May of 2022, May 1st. It's time for the fourth technological revolution. What is that? AI, artificial intelligence. The Jerusalem Post is saying we need to move there. Business leaders are saying AI is designed to help the workers, but in reality, it's not going to help workers. It's going to replace workers. They're saying that the machine has an advantage over humans. It doesn't wear out and it doesn't make mistakes. That's what business leaders are saying. How do we know the rapture is near? People are already accepting this AI technology. When people start accepting this, we know that we're going home is very, very soon. Are we accepting this? Yes, we are. How many people use GPS? No pun intended, how many people would be lost without GPS? That's accepting AI technology. That's a satellite telling you where to go and what turns to make. You know, how many times does, I call her Sally, how many times does she have to recalculate because you missed a turn? GPS, we are accepting that as AI technology. The RFID chip, people are accepting that as well. Some people really do understand AI, so some people have heard about Sophia. Sophia actually is the first robot who is a citizen. She's a citizen of Saudi Arabia. And when you look at Sophia, she's also an ambassador to the United Nations. She's a robot. She's designed after Audrey Hepburn. Some people know that. Some people go, who? But that's who her features are after. She was made in Hong Kong. She actually made her U.S. appearance, first public appearance, here in Texas, in Austin, Texas, at the South by Southwest Festival. Now, if you don't know about Sophia, I think a lot of people know about Alexa. That's AI. You see, she's been around since 2014. She's your personal assistant. You can come home and tell her to play your favorite music. You can tell her to turn your lights on, turn your lights off. She can do whatever you want her to do. So when you look at Alexa, that is AI that we're looking at. She'll go shopping for you. You don't need to leave your couch. But this comes at a cost, because when you understand that, this is a headline from the USA Today. Alexa, you're turning my kid into a brat or into a jerk. How? Because if the kid can come in and order Alexa around, then why can't he order people around? If they never have to say thank you or please to an AI machine, why do they say thank you or please to human beings? And they're saying this becomes a problem. The American Academy of Pediatrics, they've actually done studies on how do children look at robots, because that's the future. And what they found is that kids think robots think and feel. They do not eat or breathe, but a robot thinks and feels. That's the acceptance that the younger generation has for AI. This wide acceptance of AI has led basically to virtual immorality. When you look at games that are online, websites are online, the things that you can do, it's all just immorality. You can attack celebrities with games online. You can mug innocent people. You can kill law enforcement. All this stuff is online. It's just evil. It's wrong, but that's where it's leading us. This is where AI is leading us, and we're accepting it. Technology has enormous power over our belief and our attitude. We have moved into a place where technology has taken over our social life. It's leading to idolatry. It's leading to addiction. Social media. Do you realize Facebook has over 2 billion users right now and increasing? If Facebook were a country, it would be the third largest country in the world. It's double the population of the U.S. population. There are more people on Facebook right now than there were alive 200 years ago. 1 in 5 couples now meet online. 1 in 5 divorces are blamed on Facebook, because people are hooking up with their exes. When you look at the social media, 92% of our kids have a digital footprint. Every second, 2 new members join LinkedIn. Every minute, 72 hours of video is uploaded to YouTube. Right now, Lady Gaga, Justin Bieber, and Katy Perry have more Twitter followers than the populations of Germany, Turkey, South Africa, Canada, Argentina, United Kingdom, and Egypt. That's where social media is going. It's causing pride, it's causing selfishness. And again, in 2 Timothy 3, we're told in the last day, people will be boastful, they'll be proud, they'll be abusive, ungrateful, unholy, unforgiving, slanderous, without self-control, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God. Folks, welcome to social media and technology. This is where we're going. Now, technology has been used for evil as well. We've had some mass shootings take place recently in Buffalo, New York, and again here in Texas. 19 kids, 2 teachers. Both of those shooters in Buffalo and here in Texas broadcast what they were going to do on social media. The hate, the violence, the evil, it's all part of setting up the Antichrist kingdom. That's what it's all about. It also not only impacts individuals, it can impact nations. For the very first time in Israel, the IDF have come out publicly and said they have stopped hackers who wanted to hack the U.S. power system. They haven't publicly said anything. This took place at Tel Aviv University, June 29th of this year. they came out and said, we have stopped this from happening. There was an attack planned on U.S. power system. You know, technology, we used to look at it and think it was just what? Science fiction. Oh, that would never happen. If you don't believe me, this is 1993.
Tad O'Malley has been making claims.
Claims about what?
You and everyone you know has a piece of DNA in your genome, put there without your knowing it.
Put there by whom?
Well, that's the question of the day.
This is an internet lunatic. You're not saying you believe him.
Just hold on, Agent Einstein. You're talking to a scientist.
Forgive me, Assistant Director. It may sound insensitive, but the suggestion is pure science fiction.
What I'm saying, Agent Einstein, is that the facts, as I understand them, cannot be discounted out of hand.
No one has the right or the ability to tamper with your DNA.
Unless we gave them that ability.
Yeah. Proverbs 16:9 says, the heart of man plans his ways, but the Lord establishes his step. Man can think he's going to do what he wants to do, but nothing is done without God saying, I'm going to allow this or not allow this. And I bring this up because the World Economic Forum, the ultimate goal for them is to control and change life. How? By removing free will. They are publicly saying that. They want to do more than just build digital dictatorships. When you look at the World Economic Forum, they want to hack humans. They believe that if you hack something, you control something. They believe that corporations and governments are very close to being able to do that. This is amazing. But Pfizer's CEO publicly came out and said, you know what? The FDA has already approved this pill. This is an electronic pill. What this is, folks, is a digital digestive tracking system. You take a pill and it tracks everything. Look at this public tweet from the World Economic Forum. Publicly, they're saying they want to control minds using sound waves. How they're going to do that, I don't understand. It's above my pay grade. But they want to do this. They're publicly saying they can do this. They can send the right sound waves to the right part of your brain, and they can cause you to be completely under control. They want to use remote control. This is a Jerusalem Post headline. It's coming soon. Remote control of your brain. Basically, the World Economic Forum, they are bragging about this. They're testing with this. They are testing this on beetles. Now, how you put an implant on a brain's beetle, I have no idea, but they're saying they're doing it. And they're able to control this bug, these beetles, with remote control. Even though the bug fights against it, they're able to control it by using a brain implant. Now, you look at a bug like that and you go, are people really willing to go that far to yield to technology? Well, some places they're putting chip implants already in their hands. If you go to Whole Foods, Amazon set up palm shopping. So all you got to do is wave your palm and you're paying for your food. That's all technology people are willing to go for. I don't know if they're willing to go as far as doing a brain implant. We're told it's for safety and for climate control. But again, it's a sign that the rapture is near. Revelation 13, the mark of the beast, excuse me, that technology has to be in place for the world money system to come in. And it has to be in place before he comes. And folks, it's already happening. When you look at Revelation 13, the mark of the beast, that technology is already taking place in Norway. In Norway, basically, this is June 3rd, by the way, this article. In Norway, you are known by your birth number. They know where you live and how much money you make, and if you have a criminal history, they know that by your birth number. But now, they are tracking where you shop and what you buy. How close are we to going to the Antichrist system when they're doing this? Over in Canada, they already have plans to move in with implementing digital IDs. This is where you carry around everything on you. This is happening in Alberta and it's happening in Ontario. Every citizen is being given a government ID. And basically what they're saying is for convenience. Because now you have your banking being done, your medical history is there. If you want to get a marriage license, you carry it around with you. Remember Daniel chapter 3. Nebuchadnezzar controlled the world by using fear. In Revelation 13, the Antichrist will also make an image and control the world and have you worship that or be put to death. And in Daniel, remember Nebuchadnezzar's image was how tall? Anybody remember? 90 feet. It was 90 feet tall. Let me introduce you to the giant. The giant is the world's tallest moving statue. It instantly transforms any image. Your face can be up there. And they're using this for entertainment. The giant's a programmable, movable statue with millions of LED pixels, able to take on any form of any person. So if we use this for entertainment and think it's kind of fun to go there and have you sing as a 90-foot statue, how far are we from that, from accepting the Antichrist and the statue that he builds? Technology is leading us that way. Most of our kids carry little computers around. We call them cell phones. When you look at the cell phones, there's a thing called low battery anxiety, and they say it's a real thing. LG Electronics did a survey on this, and it's not just for kids. When your cell phone battery gets to 20%, you begin to panic. This has become, you have anxiety over this. In fact, you will stop your day. It says 32% of adults are willing to drop everything to go find a phone charger. Says 22% of the people, 1 out of 4 adults, will go to a restaurant not to buy food, but to have a place to charge the phone. That's what's happening with technology. It can be good. It can be used in a lot of good ways, but it's needed for the Antichrist kingdom to come. And before the Antichrist kingdom comes, the rapture takes place. 2 Thessalonians talks about God restraining evil. When God restrains evil, basically, he's holding things back. What happens when God does not restrain evil anymore? It goes nuclear. That's what it does. Zechariah talked about this. Zechariah talked about nuclear. We didn't know about it, but he did. Martin Luther wrote 2 commentaries on Zechariah, one in Latin, one in German. He only went to chapter 13. He didn't finish because chapter 14, he couldn't understand. He said, this makes no sense at all. I don't know how this will ever happen. So he didn't deal with that. What does Zechariah 14 say? The flesh will rot while they are still standing on their feet. Their eyes will rot in their sockets. Their tongues will rot in their mouth. Zechariah got that and said, I have no idea what's being talked about. You and I hear this, and what do we think about? Nuclear war. Nuclear war. When God stops restraining, that's what happens. Matthew 24, we've already talked about the Olivet Discourse and the birth pains. The last birth pain is the gospel being proclaimed around the world. Technology, that's made that a realistic action. You have the printing press going to the world travel, being able to fly around and do things, to radio, to internet. Technology has allowed God's word to go everywhere around the world. However, we're moving towards a place where people rely more on technology than they do God. And let me end with a test. Let me kind of challenge you with a test here. How many people have a Bible? Most of you, okay? Would you take a week and put away the Bible? No Bible reading, no going to church, no prayer time. Just put God aside for 1 week. Are you out of your mind? No, I'm not. I want you to put God aside for 1 week. Don't go to church, don't pray, don't read. 1 week. Then the second week, I want you to do this. I want you to have no technology. I want you to turn your cell phone off right now and not turn it back on again for a week. A week of no technology, no internet, no computer, no cell phones, no nothing. Now, when the 2 weeks are up, what are you going to miss more? When the 2 weeks are up, what's going to be harder? Not having your cell phone on? Not texting, not emailing, or not going to church? Which will be more of a challenge for you? Folks, be prepared, for the rapture is near. God bless you.